And thank you after 20 minutes for taking me where we were supposed to go right out of the gates. And here we go. 9 tags applied yesterday, officially, when the window closed at 4 p.m. Eastern. 8 franchise, 1 transition. Transition tag used for the first time since 2020 when it was used on Kenyon Drake. The difference is you get no compensation if Kyle Duggar leaves the Patriots. It gives the Patriots a chance to match, and that's it. If Duggar leaves for another team, if the Patriots don't match, they get nothing in return. The other 8 guys are all non-exclusive, meaning if someone wants to sign them and their current team doesn't match, they get 2 first-round picks. Well, none of these guys, if Lamar Jackson didn't get an offer sheet last year, none of these guys are getting an offer sheet. No one's giving up 2 first-round picks. All due respect to these guys, no one's giving up 2 first-round picks, in part because I still think there's some collusion that goes on here where it's like gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, like he's our guy.
We're not gonna,
right, yes.
Yeah, we're not going to go after your guy and, hey, you don't come after our guy. That's been around for a while now. When you have restricted free agents, there aren't a lot of guys that get offer sheets.
Tenders.
Even though maybe there are some that should. Yeah, it's we'll leave your guy alone and you'll leave our guy alone.
Right.
And that's called collusion, folks. But if they never say it out loud, it can't be proven. So that's the threshold issue here. You've got guys who are on the brink. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, of potential generational wealth.
Right.
Of getting that huge contract next week from some team that may do something stupid like the Browns did 2 years ago. Sorry, Browns, but you kind of know. You know. They know. They know. We know. We all know. You shouldn't have done it. You get teams in a position to do it. Why? Well, first of all, we got money that we have to spend. And second of all, if you can't win the Super Bowl, you may as well win the press conference in March when fans are deciding whether or not to renew their season tickets. What jerseys do we want to buy? How about the jersey of the new team or the new player on the local team that they had the big press conference for, that they spent all that money for? These 9 guys have had that door slammed in their face just as it was about to open. So, well, I wish I was so mistreated that my employer was going to pay me $21 million this year like Michael Pittman with Indianapolis. But the point is, he should have gotten more than $21 million. He should have been in position to go to the market and get one of these deals that has 2 or 3 years of guaranteed money, that unlocks the kind of wealth that only a select few get. These guys have all been robbed of that opportunity by a system that keeps the best player on every team who's due to become a free agent in any given year from getting to the market.
Yeah, I wish they could find a different remedy, right? Something else. You're a franchise tag, but you still get a long-term deal, and only a certain amount of the money counts against the cap because we made you a special franchise-type player. You know, it is weird to me that we treat some of the best players in our sport like, you're just a piece of meat on the shelf over there. That's what you are. Even though you're great, and a lot of people are tuning in to watch you, you're the man. Right? Well, we don't want to give you any security yet. How dare you want security? It's the only business in the world. It's the only one. And it's nothing. I mean, again, the greatest surgeons in the world, they don't, I'm the best surgeon in the world, and the hospital doesn't go, well, we'll give you a 1-year deal. But, man, if you mess up one of those surgeries or you get hurt or something, man, the money won't be the same. It won't be. It just won't be the same. It'll never be the same. I mean, come on. It's crazy when you say it out loud, really. It's crazy. It really is. I understand it to a degree, business-wise, why the owners want it. But at the same time, I go, why do the owners want to treat their players and their best entities that way, right? But I think when you get into this and look at this list right here, right, I kind of use that phrase, no-brainers, right? Like this was a year where, we have a year where it's like, ooh, do you think they'll franchise that guy? I'm not sure. Like, ooh, all right, there's usually 2 or 3 where you go, okay, definitely franchise tag. And then, wait, what will this team do? This year, these were kind of like the writing is on the wall, right? That's where I kind of find it, a little bit fascinating. Like Justin Madubuike, right? You throw that, duh. I mean, he's looking like he's the best interior pass rusher in football. Here we go. Brian Burns, come on. It's a unicorn list is what I really want to say. These are unicorns this year. These are special players where teams were like, man, yeah, we got to keep him 1 year. This is too much talent just to let it hit the free market, or we don't get anything back, or we don't buy ourselves a little time to negotiate here a little longer because this guy's too talented of a football player. I mean, these are no-brainers across the board, and specifically to those teams, too, where you look at it and go, no. Like, not only is the player good, but, like, this player is essential to their success. Like, they're not very deep at this position or that position, and they really need him. I think that kind of goes for everybody on the list except for maybe L'Jarius Sneed, because there's some depth on the Kansas City Chiefs as far as corner, but everybody else there, that team needs that player in a major, major way.
And we talked last week about some of the motivations that may be happening with Sneed, unrelated to keeping him around. But again, that's why all these guys should be heading to the market next week. If they were, with the salary cap now moving by more than $30 million per team to 255.4, they would literally break the bank next week.
Yeah.
All of these guys.
Exactly right.
They would get massive contracts with real money, with guaranteed money for multiple years.
Way more money than they're going to get right here.
Much more than they're going to get. And they're not going to get any money next year unless and until they continue to play the way they have leading up to this year. If you drop off, if you get injured, you got no protection beyond this year. That's it. So that's what's unfortunate about it. And you know what? Quick history lesson. I'm going to summarize this. You go back to 87 when your dad was playing.
Yeah.
The strike happened.
Right.
The strike fell apart. But then the union basically shut down, because in the absence of a union, all of the rules that the NFL uses to hold the sport together from a player personnel standpoint are antitrust violations. They just are. So what they did was the union goes away, and we're going to sue you for all of your various rules that amount to a violation of the antitrust laws. And it was within the confines of that lawsuit. The settlement of that lawsuit resulted in the CBA that has the franchise tag. And when I think back to those days, it was long before I was covering, but I was following very intensely.
Right.
The players had the owners on the run. The players were going to win that lawsuit. And it was going to be more than the $1 that the USFL got when it beat the NFL and proved the NFL engaged in antitrust violations in 1986. They had them on the run. And for them to give up this, I wonder if they truly appreciated what it would mean to give up that power to the league and the teams, to take that one player every year and keep him from becoming a free agent. The whole thing was about creating free agency.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wait, the best player on every team every year is going to be prevented from free agency. What's the frickin' point of free agency then?
I hear you.
Right?
You're right. You're right. Well, again, I think there's a reason owners are owners and billionaires and everything like that, and players are players, and not the best, especially in the NFL, about sticking together on certain subjects or anything like that, right? I mean, yeah, it does seem like, they pulled a fast one, or certainly dangled something out there that was like, oh, wait, whoa, top 5 average, that's cool, oh, that's a good deal, oh. And in actuality, when it all comes to it, and the dust settles a little bit, it's not that great, and it's definitely not that great again, which is crazy for the stars of our sport. I think that's when you say it out loud, you hit it and you go, wait, the guy you like on the franchise the most, the player that's maybe the best, we're gonna give him a little candy here just to keep him quiet, like he's a child in the corner, right? Because we don't want to divulge anything of real interest to that person. I mean, that's kind of what it is, and it is crazy when you kind of think about it and say it out loud.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.